Really? Really? Are you serious? Boku no Hero, chapter 111. Before I get into what I'm kind of like a little rantish about, let me talk about the great things of this chapter. This feels kind of realistic, this exam on how it would feel if there really were heroes in real life and if there was a big hero association. In this chapter of Boku no Hero, we find out that the association, or like sort of like the human resources or the personnel of the Hero Association actually revamped and revised the examination for your hero license, and apparently they examined it after the situation with All Might and All For One. So apparently they really looked into the situation and they wanted to really enforce the issue, since All Might has retired, that they want a group of heroes who are really serious about unity. They want to concentrate less on individualism and fame. And they want guys who are able to put sort of like the greater good or the citizens first before anything else, and creating a team membership. And it was kind of like sort of an order from the guys on top who were actually who paid attention to the certain events with All Might and UA. All Might is gone, so now they have to take his role that is empty now and fill it in. So I like it because it shows that this company or the audience is clever, or the general public. They watch things, they pay attention to what the heroes do. It makes you realize that the heroes are under a microscope. Whereas like in past shonen, you would have certain events happen with heroes or any kind of, let's say, pirates or anything, and the general public was always kind of stupid, or the companies behind them it was like nothing ever affected them. It was always the same with certain shows or TV shows or manga. But here they actually pay attention, and the audience, and they look at what heroes do. And I really like that about this chapter. I'm like, okay, so they adjusted, and I think it kind of built up to that with all the events that have been happening with UA, that this full arc is all about adjustment and the change of period. So it just shows us more on how much of an effect All Might had on the hero world. So that was pretty awesome about this chapter. And that the little pages that they showed us, I thought they were really cool. Now when it came to the action of this chapter, especially with Orca, that was pretty sick, man. The powers of an orca and on land. This guy has a shockwave power. He's pretty powerful. He's able to freeze you in your own spot. And they make for a pretty powerful group because it's the rank number 10 hero and he's acting like a villain. So they have them react under a situation where they have to get, the heroes or the students have to get the quote unquote, the citizens who are injured out of the way so they can defend them against Orca. And the thing is that I didn't like about this chapter, or not so much like, a certain character, Inasa. Yo, I feel like I'm getting a bitchy vibe from him. I don't like the way this guy is acting. You get the flashback of him and Todoroki and why he doesn't like Endeavor. And apparently it's because he didn't give him an autograph. Are you fucking kidding me? Just because he didn't give him an autograph and he has these cold eyes, that's why you don't like Todoroki, and you're pissed off at Todoroki because Todoroki didn't want to speak to you at that very moment. And that was like Todoroki before he was able to fix his situations with his father. But the thing is with Todoroki is that he's even questioning himself if he still is able to have fixed his situation with his father. And he starts to doubt himself with this whole situation he has with Inasa, because they're arguing. They're straight up arguing on the battlefield, and they have like this huge ego trip. Like, Inasa doesn't want him to help him. He doesn't want him to be near him. He won't acknowledge him as a hero. And that kind of like, it pisses me off. I'm like, really? Just because he didn't acknowledge you? Or because his dad didn't give you an autograph? That's bullshit. Just because someone has a different idea of what a hero is doesn't mean that you shouldn't acknowledge him. There are different types of heroes. These guys are heroes. They're not fucking pop culture celebrities that have to pay attention to you or give you autographs. These guys are always risking their lives out on the battlefield, and they're always busy with something. Who knows what Endeavor had gone through? And who knows what, and he doesn't even know what Todoroki has gone through. The fact that he has to question him without even knowing his backstory. The guy's, it's like a prejudiced view that Inasa has on Todoroki, and it kind of, I'm like, dude, even if he had a good reason to be upset at Todoroki, right now, I don't think this is a good reason. It's kind of a stupid reason. Even if he has a good reason, you have to save that for outside of the examinee. Right now, there are more important things than fucking worrying about your ego or being butthurt because his dad didn't give you an autograph, or because Todoroki kind of like pushed you to the side because he was busy with something, because it's affecting both of their performance. And that results in them almost getting one of the other students hurt. But then fucking Midori comes in and he owns it this chapter. He grabs the student and gets him out of the way, and he tells these bitches, what the fuck are you guys doing? Hello? This isn't the time for that bullshit. And I'm like, yo, Deku, he owned that. He is like, Deku understands the situation. He is chimed in on this exam. Todoroki needs to do the same thing. I know he has problems with his dad, but I thought it was already resolved, but apparently it isn't, and it shows that it's going to have to take some time with him resolving his issues with his father. And because when it comes to issues with your sibling or father, it doesn't just take like a couple months and you're done with it. Sometimes it'll take years. But the reason why that's coming up is because Inasa is throwing that in his face. And on top of that, Inasa, dude, get over it, man. Obviously, I think these guys are going to resolve the situation. But to me, Inasa, I just got like a bitch feeling from this chapter. His character kind of like, for me. I'm like, dude, get over it, man. Oh, man. I mean, we all met those kind of people who get butthurt for some things, but really, Inasa, you look so badass, but like, you gotta resolve this shit. Unless there's more things to come out of this on why he doesn't like Todoroki and Endeavor, then I don't think he has any excuse. But just get over it, man. Get fucking over it. This chapter was a great chapter because of the beginning and because of Deku, but Inasa, I'm like, ugh, bitch. Later, Vantard out. I'll give it a 4 out of 5 stars.